have a few videos that are prepared to right now, but this is another video. So let's get into it. Um, so really, ever since I moved out, I've been finding it extremely hard to actually focus on stuff. Like actually get work done. I always find it difficult, but especially recently. And what didn't help was like I got behind. And instead of like moving on, I just focus on like the problems and whatnot. And I'd say this was about the way I felt for a while until recently. Something that I didn't actually expect to have a big impact on anything was Gurren Lagann. So to give you some backstory, I was on Netflix watching K-pop Demon to make a video, just a short about it, and I was like, yeah, I like it. But then while I was on there, I checked out some other things. I was like, what else does Netflix have anime wise that I can make reviews on? And then Gurren Lagann came. Now, Gurren Lagann is an anime that I have some experience with. One, motivational. It's very motivational, but like I didn't really get the motivation behind it. Yeah, these strong words, motivational when I watched it. So there was that. I seen some edits, of course. Um, and then of course, being in the anime community, is very big and popular anime known for just how like astronomical in scale it gets. Also, just let you know, this does contain spoilers. Um, this anime is really old, and I'm pretty sure most people know like all the twists and turns, but spoiler warnings, right? But yeah, so I wasn't really expecting to go in it without like being motivated or anything like that. I just expected to go in there, watch it, and make a review. But then there was a specific scene in particular um, that was really motivational. The first one was "Let me see you grit those teeth." Actually, both of them are these scenes. So "Let me see you grit those teeth" is iconic in the series because spoilers. Once again, I'm not gonna say spoilers after this point, so leave spoiler. Um, but this is actually the episode where Kazuma, I think that's how you pronounce his name, dies, aka Samoan brother. And this was a very iconic scene. I was like, yeah, that's very motivational. But I didn't really get it. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, you know what? You gotta focus up sometimes, and that's what you need. Until the second time it came, and then like it dawned on me the actual purpose, and it was just like, damn, yeah, that's correct. Also, yes, I will swear in these videos because I'm not in my house anymore. But like, damn, that is correct. So, to give you some context in the scene, yeah, you know what? Actually, I know his name, Ramon. Ramon. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I know his name. Is about to, let's just say, hasten his uh this make it easier for the anti-spiral to make humanity go extinct by letting them have one less person. Um, so that's fun. But no. So because he was really like going to sacrifice like a ton of people just to leave by themselves, despite knowing that everyone's gonna die instead of fighting. And then the second time he was gonna do it again. So and then also he put up Simone for execution. So he was like really down in the dirt and he's thinking about this. And then, you have the scene where Simone teleports in with Gurren Lagann and yes, rocks the man. Like the what Cosmo did to him, yeah, you know that hurt. But low key Cosmo was weak, right? But he was strong because you could tell because he was able to fight a beast man barehanded, or essentially with like just a sword and no technique. Um, but like he didn't have he just punched him, right? It wasn't like he, did a bunch of stuff. No, this man went from like flying really fast, popped out, and then just like essentially just the Markiplier meme him. Boom! Send that man flying. And like then he said it, and I was like, he was like saying that there's no point in beating yourself down. Sometimes you make mistakes, and you're already gonna feel bad. So you don't need to beat yourself down. What you need sometimes is someone to come and punch you. So let me see you grit those teeth. Became something that I really want to live up to. I do. There are plenty of things that I think I live up to, but not fully. Um, in my life. Like I think Silent Voice has really impacted me, but more in an emotional level versus get up, get out there, do stuff. Whereas like I am in a better mental state than I have been because of that. Like that movie alone had put me in a way better mental state, and every time we watch it, it put me in a way better one. Um, and like that alone is really good. Um, but like nothing really like there was stuff that motivated me, but nothing really ever struck me as motivation for me. It was more like me essentially following the wind, just like my Sonic mentality, where it's like we'll see where it goes and stuff like that. There was nothing really concretely putting me in this, and I think especially now that I started college, this semester's not going, but especially now that I started college, um, I'm realizing that at least when it came to like this college in particular, I don't really like because of the fact that I didn't understand what I was doing and like overestimated myself. I felt so bad, and I think that passively it just kept making me dig a deeper hole. And like watching that made me realize, you know what? That is dumb. And like it wasn't just that scene; it was another scene too, where they were talking about digging, and it was like you dig up to the heavens and you reach the surface and boom, you're good. You did it. And like that scene really struck a chord because it's like, yeah, you know what? Even when you're in the deepest part, you can always dig up to at least reach the infinite potential of life. Even if you never actually get to reach the stars or fight on these galaxies, you can dig your way up from the bottom to get to this. Even if you are in your worst position, you can make your way up. And I think I really want to take that into my life right now. Because it really is motivational and have helped. Like I can't say how big it helped, but it is very impactful. And I like to actually use that to help move myself forward more and more. Because I think like yeah, there is some stuff where kind of like you gotta motivate yourself, but just it's kind of hard for me to do such things sometimes, and I hope that I can really do it. Um, but yeah, to stop from the psychological talk and like how inspirational it is. How was the actual show itself, and do I think it's worth watching? Yes, even if you don't like, it is at the bare minimum very worth watching just because of the messaging alone and the fact that it's like, first of all, it does beg the question of what does it mean to be human a little bit, in particular when it comes to the dichotomy in between Beastman, uh, Nami, I think that's her name. I know it's not, but the cloud hair girl and just regular people. Especially because of the fact that Beastmen don't have spiral energy because of the fact that they're clones and whatnot. Um, but they all have emotions and whatnot, and beg the question. Matter of fact, it's even in the episode where it's like what does it mean to be like what is a human? Um, so it does beg those questions, but also it's really motivational and like where do you win aspect, even simple characters. Like I talked about earlier, Kazuma, that's not his name. I'm gonna call him Ryu because that's pretty much his name. Or but he's weak without a shadow of a doubt. Even at the time he was came in the show, like the literal start, he was always weak. Um, but the thing is about him being weak was the fact that he had courage and he was able to pull himself up because of that courage. And even in his like worst moments, the thing that gave him courage wasn't was one that he believed in himself somewhat. But more importantly, it was the fact that he believed in Simone, which also showcased that yeah, sometimes you like yeah, you do need to motivate yourself, but you also sometimes just need other people to have faith and believe in you in order for you to do it. Which is one of the strong things in between the dichotomy in between Kazuma, Bruno, and Simone. Because they all showcase different aspects of this character trait where Kazuma is essentially what you would think is the best personification of it, where it's like all this willpower and belief to the point where he seemed like a unstoppable spirit. But in reality, he just believes in other people, and he does motivate himself. It's even like he is a good representation of this, but it lacks strength because he doesn't have the logic behind it. He's not like the smartest guy. He's so reckless that he lacks the integrity needed to fully weaponize that. And then he also just lacks the actual strength. While he has a lot of fighting spirit, he doesn't really have strength for it. So he acts more like a funnel and help boost other people forward. This even showcased again within the second and last episode, where the reason why Simone and all of them were able to escape, well, not all of them, but at least Simone and Yamako was able to escape, was because of the fact that he showed up and he was like, "You're just gonna let this you're gonna follow this coward, or you're gonna, you know, use your willpower and pierce to the heavens." And then he showed to Yamago and like, yes, showing you like an image of every reality, and they're turning it off. And that was supposed to showcase like, yeah, no, there are a lot of possibilities that you could have done out there, but are you gonna go with them? Can you? No. So just continue onwards. And like that is a showcase of how he pushed people forward. And then you have Simone, which in the very start, he does seem like a complete coward, right? But we get introduced to this fact that he is kind of cowardly, but it's like his motivation is within himself, but it's also that he doesn't have enough of that. He didn't have the flourish to really continue onwards. And it's also until his brother death, in which case he founds in himself after meeting Nami. I really don't know how to pronounce their names. I'm so sorry. But after meeting her, he finally within himself like, oh, so this is what my brother wants and what like his word represent. So it's like, and he's also strong, but he also has the logic needed to use that strength, and he's once again not weak. So he has all the components all together to form this like what this should be, where he can motivate himself, has motivation for himself, but also grasps the fact that like other people can help him and how other people can help motivate him to push himself even further. This is kind of do an entire speech behind, or at least half the speech, where like the dream of those who come before, and then the other half being the fact that he will help push people forward, which is also a good showcase of this being the path of the wishes of people who came before and the wishes of people that came after, right? Both of those combining to form a double helix. The entire point of that is like the weak, like you have to be able to motivate yourself but you can also accept motivation from others, and that can help push you forwards. And it's not all motivation are good. It has to be supportive motivations. We see times where, like when Kazuma dies, where Simone is in the dirt and people are trying to be like, "Hey man, get your head in the game, man. You ain't nothing like your brother. Get your head in the game, or not like your brother. Like it's your fault he died. Get your head in the game. Focus, focus." And not the support that he really needs until you have Yamako who support him like, "Hey man, I get it." Not really, but it's really Yuma. I mean, Nima. I have no clue. I'm a card in who like fought for the support that he needed in order for him to grow into the person he needed to be and wanted to be. And then the last aspect of this is Rono. Um, his aspect is more along the lines of what people like. A possibility that Simone cut went down, where he was like more narrowly, um, and not really strong, but more logic based. Um, it's the best way to play versus more casually. He's more logic based versus Simone having his full sprint ahead, where he doesn't necessarily need more reassurance, but he thinks only of one path and doesn't think of the support of those behind him. This is actually showcased within my again that's the top of the show. Let me tell you. But this is actually showcased within the beginning of season two, where well, not season two, the second part, where it's like he is just so focused on the future, he doesn't think of the past at all. And while they don't say focus on the past, they're like take what you learn from the past, take the people from the past, and help you push forwards. And then take those who will come after you, and the motivation of those who come before you, and push forward. And that thing that you're pushing isn't them, it's your will, it's your drill. The drill used to represent the action of evolution, of course, because it's a double helix spiral power, but also just used to showcase like the steadiness and the ability to go ahead in your dreams. Because a drill is, if you think about it, one of the tools that have a lot of diversity used to it. Like Simone has used, you can use it digging the ground, you can use it open up a coconut, you can use it to do a bunch of stuff, right? And this is why the drill was probably chosen. Um, and then you could also compare it with other characters whose main weapon is something else. Like take for instance Cosmo. His main weapon was actually a sword, if you think about it. Like when he pulled out those glasses, swords. His main weapon is a katana. Maybe. I don't know if it's a katana or Odashi. No, I think it might be Odashi. I think Odashi that's the stronger one. The point is, it's a sword, right? Um, which is known for being able to cut through stuff. It helped cut through and make a path for people, but it's not necessarily the best thrusting weapons, which is accurate to his character. He's able to cut through stuff and make a clear way for those people who come after him, but he himself doesn't really have that much of a thrust to him. Um, but yeah, just for the like actual aspect of like the psychological and philosophy aspect of the show, I would say definitely go watch it. Now, for the actual show itself, I think it's very interesting. I like it. It has a very much Digimon vibe. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who voice acted on these characters, but they sound deathly familiar. Like, I swear, the voice actor from In at some point just sound like Starfire. Like, I don't know where I heard that voice before, but I definitely heard it before. And then there's another character who just sound like a tech guy from Digimon. You know the one if you watch the show. I mean, season one in particular, the one with the computer. I forgot his name, but like he sounds like him. There were actually a lot of times where I'm like, huh, huh, is that a Digimon character? It doesn't even stop with the voice actors, by the way. It also go on with like the actual designs on the mechas. Like the Star one, that's just a Digimon. Like I don't know if it came out before Digimon Fusion, like the manga or anime, or that came out afterwards. But at any point, that's a Digimon, along with the one that's a gun that you owe me you owe me eventually pilots. Like that's not exactly 1-to-1, but that one's one Digimon too. But the Star one's definitely like that's definitely Digimon. I know that for a fact. But then there was also for I'm like these voice actors. Where did I hear them from? The dub is really good. I didn't watch the sub because the motivational ones are the dub. So like, fuck it, I watched the dub. I'm gonna get that motivation, that raw motivation. Um, but yeah, a little motivational, so I'm saying go watch it. Um, but yeah, but from the actual show itself, it's like I like it. Um, it has the kind of feel of Digimon where it's like it's a overarching goal, but it's like as you take there's like it's a kind of villain of the week, but not really. It's really like Digimon. Like it's hard to explain, but think about it. It's like yeah, you have the Demon Lord in the season one, right? Um, but to get there were multiple steps. Like the actually, for example, Apocalypse Mon during season one half, the second half, where they had to fight the four great generals, but they didn't jump them. It was like, oh, I happen to be in this path, or they coming to intercept us, so they continue on like that. Like it's a very Digimon X structure, which I don't know because it was inspired by Digimon. Once again, some of the designs are from Fusion. Like that Star one, at the very least, like that is either Fusion came with that design and then this took inspiration, or vice versa. I'm pretty sure it's vice versa. Like I'm pretty sure Fusion took inspiration from Gurren Lagann because you can actually also see the fact that they took Simone glasses and put them on the star. So, but I digress. But it has a very Digimon feel, and you like that, you kind of like the show. Um, I do have some complaints. I hope that y'all don't kill me for this. First of all, um, especially the first half need reanimation. I know that they have multiple movies. I didn't watch the movies yet, so let me know. I I do plan on at least watch one, the one where like you get super taken tone of Gurren Lagann, the one where like he become a galaxy type looking thing. That one I do plan to watch without a shadow of a doubt. But like uh even they do have movies. I think the like it does need some reanimations because there were some scenes that don't look good. I will say though, I was watching it and I was like, depending on how they animate this last fight, it is totally understandable. Like if they took all their budget and put it in the last fight, totally get it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did because that last fight was crispy, like amazing. But yeah, no, like the animation could use does need some work. Even in some of the fights, like some of the porn fights felt like they could, you know, use a little bit of work with animation quality. Um, and then at some points it does feel repetitive and boring. Uh, in particular, there's like three. I wouldn't even say three. I think there's like four different points in the anime where it's just recapping. Like there's a bathhouse episode where it's the that episode is like so there is legitimately like a point in the middle of the episode where it's just recap. Like I don't know if that's in the manga or whatnot. I think that if it is, it's probably not as much as it is because they don't just be like because there's a point in the anime where like we come a long way. Yeah, you remember when we got tapped like that, and then you sent me, and then we got tapped like that. Yeah, and like they would show images. No, they just play the clips, and then you have. I don't know if there was like a stereotype of like the person who made this because I don't know. I don't think it made by the same person who made Death Note. or if it's like a time error thing. Um, but there was a random recap episode. Like I know that anime sometimes, like take for instance, My Hero. There's a there are like three recaps that like pretty much every season begins with a recap episode, right? But like Demon, I mean both Death Note and Gurren Lagann just have like one episode where it's like a transitional point where they did that, like just a recap. And I watch it both times. Most time I watch them, but it's not the most exciting. Um, but yeah, and then there's the characters are actually likable. I will say this: most of the core characters are likable. Those two brothers kind of likable. I feel like maybe spend more time with their personalities, they could be more likable. But like, there's this one guy who I just hate in the anime. His entire stick is just waiting to press like a button to send off rockets. And it was so, I'm telling you, it was so annoying to watch because it wasn't even like, first of all, it wasn't funny. But also, it's like, I think you kind of got to go into like a kind of One Piece feel. Um, so there are a lot of gags like that. But like, it wasn't a funny gag. And then also, like, he came out of nowhere. Like, I legitimately have no clue where this character came from. And lastly, it's like, there was times where like they're literally like, my guy, the rockets don't work. Or listen, if you shoot these right now, we're gonna literally lose all our power. Like we can't. If you shoot these, we're gonna die. And he was still press the button. Like it was very annoying. But like that main character was in. That character was like the main issue, and then he was treated like he was important. Like we knew this guy. Like other characters, those twin brothers, right? Those at least you got to see them times. But like, I legitimately don't know where that guy came from. Like, I think he legitimately one of those people that just popped up randomly. Like, I don't think he was anywhere. And then there's also like, I don't really like how they treat some of the characters no names. Like, we already like take for instance, is that mode? No, it's not. Um, there's like this scene where Simone and Yamako are both like, I refuse to let other people die, right? We see so many gunmen die. Like, it is. There is one point where they were literally sacrificing themselves in the dumbest way. Like, some of these characters are treated, unless the character have a name, they are treated so irrelevantly. And I get that how it is most of the time. But, like, it is kind of annoying. At least I will say during the first like season it is annoying because like these characters will literally pop out, literally the balloon like we're here to help you, and they're like okay great, and then they're like helping them out, and then they just like okay time to die. Like it was annoying. The second half, less annoying, right? I do feel like they're shedding more impact, at least from two of the characters, being those two little kid ones, the orange hair protagonist looking one and the pink haired girl. I feel like they shed a little bit more reaction to watching their comrades die. But yeah. Now, for my last complaint, this is a serious complaint. Because it's a core aspect of the show. The first half of the second half, I think is just ass. Like Nick yeah, I think Nick Hammer has a video where he's like, one thing I don't understand, like he was like, oh, I can't get into Gurren Lagann, it's just boring, and like at some point it is, but like I will say this, a very valid complaint that I don't know people make. But like people complain that the first half of the first half of uh, Death Note was really good, but the second half was bad. I think people should have that realize that like I don't know if it's kind or not, but like the first half of Gurren Lagann is really good. The second half is really good, but like, the part where they're putting in the second half, it's like the beginning of the second half. It's complete dog shit. Give me a second. Like because so 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 bad, and like to explain why. So this happens in the first half where they like getting on Simone and whatnot, but like it is annoyingly done in the first half too, but not to the extent that it is in the second half. See, in the first half, it's like, oh man, but this guy is just moping around. He's acting all out. This guy kind of have like death wish right now. He's useless and whatnot. That is kind of dumb, I think. But yeah, see, it kind of makes sense because they all was like knew this man and watched him die. I still feel like as if they kind of handle that bad because like they didn't like understand bro as he did. Like it was like yeah, you know what? It might seem as if they weren't that close, but like we weren't. No, they was very close, and like it made a lot. Like they don't know his perspective, right? But like even just from that alone, he have known him way longer than y'all have, and he's a little kid, and like this kind of going complaint that I hear that from one video I watched, where it was like, oh yeah, Simone's a bitch in the first half. He's not. Like if you actually think about it, he essentially was not completely forced out of the ground because he still like kind of went willingly, but like this man was essentially like Cosma had the choice to go back, right? And when he was a little kid, he like his dad was like, hey, listen, yeah, you're scared. Don't worry, you can go back. But like Kazuma didn't meet, but Simon did not have that choice. So like from the second he leaves, first of all, he's already kind of scared already. But from when the second he leaves to the point where he dies, he didn't have like a even. I would go as far as to say like pretty much throughout the entire show, he kind of didn't have a choice. Like he had a choice and he willed, but like also at the same time, like kind of not. Well, there are points where you like, oh yeah, he could have chose a different path, but then you also gotta think about like, oh yeah, he could have gave up there, but if he did, he'd definitely be dead. But like he's also like a little kid too, and they was treating him so well, like he was a full grown adult. But yeah, that first half was that one makes sense, but the second half, oh my god, they give Simone so much hate as if they deserve. First of all, they forgave him, Mason, but Ramon, I'm gonna call him R. Ro. I'm gonna call him Ramon. Ramon is like kind of like, oh yeah, he's stagnating. He's on the way to the past. He don't know anything about the future. Like, my guy, you don't let him do anything. He's stuck in the room all day signing papers. What do you expect? Yes. He's stagnating on the ways of the past as I'm actively hiding the stuff that I'm doing from him and everyone else. As a matter of fact, pretty much the only people that know what I'm doing are the younger people. But this guy, he has no clue what's going on in the way of the past. He's just stuck there. Like, it was so annoying. And the same thing when it came to, like, the destruction thing, where it's like, ah, he caused the destruction because he was being rash. That logic make no sense to me. Like I understand it was under stressful situation in both these cases, but like my guy, he did destroy the thing and did blow up. That's you know, yeah, you should have a little fault for that. But don't act like it wasn't destroying the surroundings already. And this kind of go back to my point where like they kind of treat the side characters death. That's like some point they keep it like if they're a name character, they like keep it like sad, like Ashley sad. But if it's not a name character, they're like, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the man. So like we have like these people driving these essentially uh Gurren Lagans, but like worse. Um and like find this creature, the Mopa, and they just can't. Like they're not able to damage it. And like we see multiple of them. I think most of the squad is dead actually, like outside the two side characters. So like and they just blow that off. And it was already causing destruction before. So like I was annoyed when it was like, yeah, this Simo foe. Man, if he wasn't so fast, like, well, no, 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 no. Don't act as if it wasn't destroying the building already. If he didn't step in, those two would definitely be dead, and which is definitely annoying. They have, oh my god, they're so annoying sometimes. But those two would definitely be dead, and then also the rest of y'all be dead too. Like, what do you mean? And like the one where he's like, oh man, I gotta finish off Vigo. I'm gonna call him Virgil because I don't know his actual name. Because I did, keep in mind, I literally just finished watching it not that long ago. But Virgil, oh man, like when I say not too long ago, I mean like the length of this video plus 3 minutes, pretty much. Um, oh man, I gotta go by him myself because like this is never gonna. He's gonna keep getting away, and it's not gonna change. And then like they're like, no, don't do that. And he was kind of right. Like, yeah, no, like it probably would. Like, if they didn't capture, he probably would continue onwards. It wasn't for the fact that he pretty much been just not repairing his stuff from the start because he doesn't have the supplies to. Yeah, no, like he definitely would have continued onwards. Like, no, no. Simone was kind of right at that point. And then there was like when he get mad, like, what? Why the fuck are you forcing people out? And he's like, oh, cause it'd be easier to take senses. You dumb, stupid idiot. What? That logic makes sense, but also doesn't make sense because like you know they're underneath there. Just be like, hey, how many people do you have? We just need to come count. You can stand over there. We'll just come count. Like it was, they was giving this man so much HP for no reason at all. But yeah, um, after they stopped that, it was actually back to being good. But yeah, like overall, I think it's good. Um, I would recommend you watch it. I'd say it's like 8 out of 10. Um, these are just the actual anime. The first one, I don't know if there was a like reboot or reanimation of it already outside the movies. If y'all want me to do a review of the movies, let me know in the comments below. Um, and while I have you there, let me get it today as the first one being Zay Dante, and the second one being, give me one Flowchart Kin. Found him. I found Flowchart Kin because of the Arcane videos, which is another series I do want to watch. And then I think he was actually the first video I saw about K-pop Demon Hunters. Like I think I saw the trailer first, but then it was the first one that I saw about it. And Zach Dante, I think that's how you pronounce it. Um, I watched the video. I don't know what. I think it's randomly popped on my feed. Not gonna lie. But yeah, no. I watched the video and he had a really good one recently. This is the end of the video. If you want to leave, go ahead. But I'm going to take this moment to talk about Gaza and why not. Actually, you know what? I'm also going to post another video, so feel free to leave here. But he was talking about like how influencers could be using their stuff to like actually get people to raise money. And I'm not that big of a one, so he probably wasn't talking to me. Uh, but like, you know what? I want to do my part too. So I'm gonna add him in the comments, not the comment below, the description below. Go watch his videos to support him, but also watch his videos because there was one in particular where he was like have the and I think he has it also in the description, but he has the GoFundMe for people in Gaza, which you should do if you have the resources to. And at the very least, prayer awareness. Um, the reason I'm not like communicating with him directly, one because he's bigger than me, I don't want to make it seem like I'm leashing off him, but also because like my video schedules are very inconsistent. Um, so yeah, that's the main reason why. But I am about to record another video. So I'll see y'all next time. Uh, I'm gonna try and make a saying, and the saying is, let me I don't know. That's the end of the video. See y'all next time when I break my ankles trying to explain politics to people who don't understand it.